How's it going, everybody? This is OmegaNikon with the Gaming VUE, and I wanted to do this video real quick about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. We've got the game, we've played through the story, and I just wanted to put up a quick tutorial on how to beat the final boss, Ultron-Omega.
We cannot be destroyed. We are perfect. We are Ultron-Omega.
Now, at the end of the game, when you encounter Ultron-Sigma again, it's a pretty easy fight. You kind of run through him pretty fast, and then he transforms after he gets hit with some blast into Ultron-Omega for some reason. And this is actually was refreshing because in the Marvel vs. Capcom universe, the final boss is usually always some huge monster, and they stuck with that, and that's pretty cool. So the first part of this fight is kind of hindered in the fact that you're given characters that you have to play with. So here you have to play with Thor and Mega Man for this first part. Now the challenging thing is that you have to beat him before Dante's life is extinguished, and you can see Dante's life bar down at the top there, the yellow. It goes down pretty fast, and as you can tell, you don't do too much damage to Ultron-Omega. The good thing is you only have to get his life down to 75%, and then you'll complete this part of the game of the fight. Now, even though you're not doing a lot of damage to Ultron-Omega, his attacks wreck you. So a good thing to do, a good strategy, is to stay up close and personal, right in his face. You can do the basic, dumbed down combo that they've provided for everyone in this game, which is just tapping the X button continuously to get a good 8-hit combo in. You can do that, and then just spam your level 1 hypers, because they're quick to do, especially with Thor. Mega Man's isn't as strong, so if you're going to do them, I would do them with Thor mainly. Try to time your hypers so that you can pull them off in between Ultron-Omega's attacks. His attacks are pretty spaced out. He will get you a couple times with some surprises, but most of the time you can pretty much tell when he's going to do an attack, and just block it, move up in close, and then do your hyper. And you should have him down to 75% in no time if you continue to do that way, with maybe about half of Dante's life left. First couple times it was a little bit annoying. I failed the first couple times doing it, but once I got the hang of it, make sure just to stay up close. I would use Mega Man initially to build your hyper bar up, and then pull in Thor to do the combos, and then you'll get him down to 75%, no problem.
Special delivery for Ultron-Sigma. Haven't you grown? X, ready?
The second part of the fight, you use Captain Marvel and Dante, which again wouldn't be my preferred choice, but that's how the story is. They force you to play with the characters that they want you to. This fight is a little arduous. It is a little... It almost feels like you do less damage than you were doing in the first half of the fight. But again, it's the same thing. Stay up close to Ultron-Omega, do the main combos. I like to use the Soul Gem for this fight, because you can pull health from him, because he will get your health down. He has a couple modes. He has a defensive mode where you can't do any damage. You can't even pull life from him. The best thing to do is just to block, because he will shoot you with the rays maybe 2 or 3 times, and then come back, and then you can open him up with a hyper combo. The other thing he does is he pulls in drones. These drones can get very, very annoying. The best thing to do is to try to take them out as fast as you can, because you want to preserve as much life as you can for your characters, because during this time he does get a little bit of health back as he's in the background. And even when you're fighting, he pulls in his stupid little arms to shoot you with rays that pretty much knock you out and then open you up for a major combo from these drones. So the best thing to do is to try to take these drones out as fast as you can, even though they're spam blockers. It's very annoying. And the first time he pulls the drones in is the only time that you have 2 to fight. Every other time, he's only pulled in 1, so it gets a little bit easier after that. And it feels like their life is halved when he pulls in 1. I don't know if that's a continuous thing, but in my experience, that's all that happened. So most of his attacks will push you back across the screen, so just make sure you dash as fast as you can back to his chin and just light him up again. When you get your soul gem meter up to 50%, I would save it because chances are you're going to lose one of your characters in this fight. And the soul gem will let you revive your fallen character, which is really awesome. And when you go into soul gem mode, if you revive your character, you bring him out with you. So you both do double the combos, basically. Dante's combo, Hyper 1 combo, isn't that good against Ultron-Omega because it doesn't stop Ultron-Omega from attacking. You will rarely ever get Dante's full combo out because Ultron-Omega will attack him. So Captain Marvel's Hyper 1 actually pauses Ultron-Omega, so he doesn't move, he doesn't attack or anything like that. Obviously, you're left open a split second after the combo finishes, but if you time it right in the beginning of his animations, you should be able to get the full combo out without being hit and being able to block. Like I said, spam that soul gem so you can recoup your life bar, and try to continue to build it up past 50% so you can do that multiple times. It will get annoying because, you know, sometimes after you die, you'll fight him and he'll just be super mode and do a ton of combos. It's kind of annoying. He does have one attack that is unblockable, and he does it on the ground, and he does it in the air as well. He does say something before he does it. He says,
Unification!
so you know when he says that, he's getting ready to do an attack that you cannot block. So and I don't know if there's a way you can tell if it's up or down, but just try to dodge it as best you can. It doesn't do too much damage, but like I said, in this fight, you need to save as much life as you can. The one exception to this fight, unlike the rest of the fights in the story mode, usually when you lose a fight in the story mode, and it gives you the continue screen, and you just hit continue unless you want to be cheap and play at a lower difficulty. I don't think you will need to. Most of the fights in the story, once you continue, the fight becomes easier for some reason, even if you don't select fighting at a lower difficulty. It is capable of doing. You may have to do it 3 or 4 rounds, but don't drop difficulty. Keep the difficulty high. And you know, after you learn his patterns, you should be able to take him down no problem. Now I know there was a rumor going around that if you beat the game, you unlock Ultron-Sigma. That is not true. That is a rumor. You do not unlock Ultron-Sigma. The only thing you unlock is a couple collectibles and a new title for your fighter card, Infinity Blaster. And that's it, guys. Stick with it. It's not a tough story. There's actually a lot more cutscenes than there is fighting, and none of the fights really were too challenging, except for this main boss fight. The first time you fight Ultron-Sigma, obviously you're supposed to lose. There is no beating him in that one. But other than that, just stick with it, guys. Use these tactics, and you should be able to beat Ultron-Omega, no problem. Now, for your viewing pleasure, here is the final cutscene of the game, which sets up the DLC that will be coming for this game later in the year.
Now, pass the stones to X. Perfect. I call this baby the Infinity Buster. Let it rip, kid.
Heroes, lend me your strength. I will channel it into him. You alright?
Ultron-Sigma?
Destroyed.
It's over.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's good to have you back, Thor.
Thank you, my friend. Call me Iron Man again, and I'll crush you.
Where's Thanos?
On the wind. Jeddah?
Jeddah saw things my way. Eventually.
You took a hell of a risk giving the Soul Stone to Ultron-Sigma.
Nah.
So, what the hell happened?
We won?
Yeah, I get that. But with Ultron-Sigma gone, shouldn't things go back to the way they were? No!
Right. Time rewinds, the universes separate, the dead come back to life, etc., etc.
This universe was forged with the space and reality stones. Only by their power could we undo all that's been done. And the reality stone is cracked.
Then I guess we're stuck with each other.
Rocket.
What? I was just gonna, take him for safekeeping.
The stones are too dangerous to be borne by any one of us.
And between the heroes of both dimensions, we must share this burden. There shall be 6 custodians of the stones. 2 entrusted to Earth, 2 to X-God, and 2 to the Dark Kingdom. I pray that we never again need call upon their power. But if that day comes, we shall be ready.
What do we do now?
We rebuild. We honor the dead.
How?
By protecting our new world. Together.
There is yet another way.
Have you come seeking forgiveness, my love?
Retribution.
Thanos, there is no power that can harm me.
In your universe, perhaps. The Satsui no Hado has conquered gods and demons. And death. We shall see.